Rule 11 UA1C. It is about determination of fair market value for the quoted shares and securities. And please remember, as far as valuation of quoted shares and securities is concerned, is never a problem. Is never a problem, and that is because the quoted price are available in one form or the other, and therefore valuation of quoted shares and the securities is directly linked with the quoted price for these quoted shares and the securities. The challenge will be with regard to the valuation of or determination of fair market value of the unquoted shares and unquoted securities. We will come to that aspect little later, but for the moment, let's understand Rule 11 UA1C, and that is how to determine the fair market value of a quoted share or a quoted security. So here there is a rule 11 UA1C small a and small I. And what this rule 11 UA1 CAI, it talks about valuation of quoted shares and securities when they are transacted at a recognized exchange. So remember, with regard to the quoted shares and securities, there can be two situations. Situation number one, these are traded at a transacted at a recognized stock exchange. So that is one situation. And number two, these are these are quoted shares and securities, but they are not transacted at a recognized stock exchange. I'm sure all of us know there are something known as block deals. So this is something kind of a block deal or some transaction in shares and securities which have taken place of the stock exchange. So in case if the transaction is done एट अ रिकॉग्नाइज्ड स्टॉक एक्सचेंज, तो अगर वो जो ट्रांजेक्शन है वो एक रिकॉग्नाइज्ड स्टॉक एक्सचेंज पे हुआ है तो उसका वैल्यूएशन की मेथोडोलॉजी क्या होगी? उसकी वैल्यूएशन की मेथोडोलॉजी होगी कोटेड प्राइस ऑन अ रिकॉग्नाइज्ड स्टॉक एक्सचेंज, एंड दैट इज गोइंग टू बी दी fair market value in respect of a quoted share or quoted securities. Now, since it is a quoted price on a stock exchange, there is no valuation required because the quoted price itself is a valuation. But it is always recommended to have a report or a certificate from a chartered accountant in confirmation of quoted price on record. So it becomes a document which supports your point as to as to how have you arrived at the value of that particular quoted share or a security. Now this is not mandatory, remember, this is only advisable. This is only advisable because all said and done, documentation plays a very important role in all such matters. So many times it is always better to have a little extra documentation than to have less documentation, because little extra documentation will not really cost you much, but it will strengthen your position tomorrow. But in case if you lack the documentation tomorrow, that might cause you some difficulty or some challenge. So that is your rule 11 UA1 small c small a I.